more importantly, what we're experiencing now is yung economic impact nito, negative impact. Ayaw natin matigil yung operation sa isang industrial plant o manufacturing plant dahil may COVID case. Gusto natin vibrant yung activity sa mga department stores, sa mga malls natin, sa mga pamilihan natin. Dahil yung mga tao may confidence, may tiwala na pumunta dahil alam nila na COVID-free yung lugar. What we're establishing is a COVID-free community.
The mayor said that the city will likely spend millions of pesos for the testing efforts. But they are ready to realign the city's budget for other projects.
We simply prioritize yung budget natin for what is really important at this moment. Sa ngayon, kinancel natin yung ibang mga activities ng city, lalo na yung mga related sa mga cultural activities. Meron tayong ilang parks development project na sinuspend muna para next year na natin to gagawin.
Mayor Teodoro noted that although testing is not a requirement, this is a precautionary measure to achieve a COVID-free Marikina. So far, they have already tested 5,000 pedicab and tricycle drivers. 6 of them tested positive, all asymptomatic. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
New COVID cases in the Philippines dropped below 200 on Friday. The DOH reported 163 new coronavirus infections as of 4 p.m. today. More than half of new patients are from Metro Manila, while about 30% are from Central Visayas. Currently, there are almost 13,600 COVID-positive people in the entire country. The SARS-like disease killed 11 people in the past 24 hours. The country's death toll stands below 900. Meanwhile, 92 patients recovered from COVID-19 on Friday. So far, more than 3,000 people in the country have gotten better from the disease. More than 14,000 OFWs are set to go home this month after testing negative for COVID-19. The Coast Guard says these OFWs were already issued a quarantine clearance and may go home now. These include the seafarers who have completed the 14-day mandatory quarantine at a facility in Tondo, Manila. Some 500 OFWs have tested positive for the new coronavirus. They were brought to isolation or treatment facilities. Now that's good news for those who are finally going home to their families. But for migrant workers who are still in quarantine facilities, the long wait could take a toll on their well-being. Camille Samonte tells us more.
Being isolated for more than a month and facing uncertainty in the time of a pandemic can take a toll on everyone. It's even harder for overseas Filipino workers who are back in the country but have yet to see their family. A lot of them have been staying at hotels waiting for their COVID-19 test results. Nerio De Quito says not knowing whether he's positive of the virus or not is like mental torture.
Mentally tortured ka ho pag nasa loob ng room. For how many days? Almost a month now. Walang nakakalabas ng ho kami pag nagtitest. Yung tinest kami. Tapos hindi rin ho kami makakalabas ng room. Medyo nakakapraning Yung sa dami ko nang iniisip mo, hindi ka na ho makatulog. Unang-una ho, yung parang isa ka lang sa kwarto nga. So, kung ano-ano na yung mga iniisip mo, wala kang makakausap. Tapos, dadagdagan pa ho yung sa tagal na po, yung result hindi pa ho malaman-laman. Yung result namin kung ano ba talaga yung nangyari, nawawala daw. So, naghalo-halo na ho lahat So, alam mo yung gano'n pa-torture yun. Parang sa araw-araw iniisip mo
Nerio works on a cruise ship. He has been in isolation at a hotel in Pasay City for almost a month. He arrived in the Philippines last April 25, along with more than 100 seafarers. They all have undergone PCR-based testing, but unfortunately for some, the agency says their test results are missing.
Di ba lang matagal yung certificate? Walang issue sa akin yun. Ang issue is, hindi ho lumalabas yung result. Parang wala akong linaw na ano ho ba yung gagawin, hahanapin pa.
makontrol ng kahit na sinong tao. So, mas lalo kang mag-iisip ng kung ano-ano, mas lalong negatibo yung mga intrusion of thoughts natin. Kaya merong tendency na nagkakaroon ng mental issues pagdating sa ganitong pagkakataon dahil nga hindi mo alam bakit gano'n? Alam namin 14 days lang, bakit umabot sa ganito? So the uncertainty na nararamdaman ng mga taong ito, lalo na galing na nga sila sa ibang bansa, ang tagal-tagal na nilang hindi nakita yung pamilya nila, lalo nag-i-intensify yung possibility of anxiety and depression.
Dr. Garcia says restricting outdoor activities and social interaction may have also contributed to their anxiety. She urges the government to provide activities for OFWs in isolation. Garcia suggests to families of OFWs under quarantine to regularly keep in touch so they could check on their situation.
Hindi po masama na sabihin nyo na naiinip kayo. Hindi rin po masama na maiiyak kayo sa nangyayari. It's a normal thing. Pero ang masama, kung umabot siya ng more than 48 hours, iyak na kayo ng iyak. And then, at the same time, yung lalong nagiging balisa at hindi kayo nakakatulog. Siguro at that point, pwede ang concerns natin, makausap natin sila to make them feel na talagang i-assure natin sa kanila na ito ang dapat natin gawin. Ito yung pwede niyong gawin.
There are just a few things a person can do on his own while being surrounded by four walls. So if it reaches a point where the OFW finds it difficult to cope with the situation, Dr. Garcia recommends asking for a counselor or request other mental health support services. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
The Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, or OWA, is asking Congress for an additional 1.5 billion pesos. OWA Administrator Hans Kakdak said they will reserve the money to pay for accommodations, transportation, and other assistance to returning migrant workers. OWA estimates that about 250,000 OFWs will be affected by the coronavirus crisis. Kakdak said OWA currently has an Overseas Operations Crisis Fund of 19 billion pesos, but they are using this to pay for the agency's annual operational expenses and for the 20,000 peso livelihood and for displaced OFWs. We'll pause for a short break, but when the big story returns, buses are gearing up for the new normal in public transportation, digital payments. And the ERC tells power distributors to extend the due dates of electricity bills. Keep it here on One News for more big stories. I'm Jess De Los Santos, and you're watching The Big Story. One congressman wants to plug the loophole in taxing online platforms that are earning revenues from Filipino netizens. Marlene Alcaide has the rest of the story.
Facebook, online shopping, and Netflix. Filipinos have logged onto these platforms to keep themselves busy under quarantine. For first-year college Brent Garcia, Netflix isn't just a virtual library of his favorite TV shows and movies. It is also a valuable source of information.
It has been a learning hub, a learning opportunity for us as well, because Netflix does not only give you movies, series, but they also give you documentaries for us to learn during this community quarantine and stay productive ahead of our time.
And with retailers partnering with digital platforms, it has become convenient for Brent's family to order what they need online and have them delivered. But all these might change if the digital taxation bill is passed into law.
I think taxing applications, online applications, platforms that the Filipino people are using during this pandemic, I think it is very unideal and unbecoming from the part of the government, because I think it is detrimental to what the society needs. I think it is not applicable to what the society wants at the moment. And if you're going to push through with these taxes, I think people like us students, parents who are solely relying on Netflix and online shopping will no longer have options but to go out furthermore.
To help the economy survive the pandemic, one lawmaker is now pushing for House Bill 6765, also known as the Digital Economy Taxation Bill. Under the measure, Netflix, Facebook, Google, Spotify, and other digital platforms that do business in the Philippines will be slapped with value-added tax and other duties. The government targets to raise 29.1 billion pesos in fresh revenues annually from this.
Given this, the need to do stimulus, at the same time, everything of that is being borrowed, then we need to look for certain sources. Kasi you cannot totally say, okay, utangin natin lang at at a certain point, you have to pay for them. Mm-hmm. So dito po pumasok, ito po nga proposal. And this proposal is actually not new. Since the time of Kim Hinares, we've been trying to collect these same taxes, 12% VAT and 30% corporate income tax from these digital companies.
Albay Representative Joey Salceda, however, clarifies he is not imposing a new tax. He says it's about time that these companies pay their fair share of taxes, just like other businesses in the country. Salceda notes that Google and Facebook are ranking in billions from ads in the Philippines.
Facebook makes 33 billion. And Google makes 24 billion in ads. Yeah. So they don't pay a single cent of taxes. Why? Because they say because it is not domiciled here, they're domiciled somewhere. But certainly, like Pogo, they benefit from participating in the Philippine economy. Mm-hmm. So ang hiningi ng BIR essentially na before they can cater to the Philippine market, they should be domiciled here, so they will be subject to 30% corporate income tax and 12% VAT.
The bill also tasked online shopping platforms such as Lazada to collect taxes from their partners. For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
The Transportation Department is tapping digital payment systems with cashless transactions becoming part of the new normal. Gerard de la Peña has a story.
Transport operators have been preparing to return to operations as soon as Metro Manila shifts to GCQ. But they have to find ways to minimize physical contact within vehicles, especially when it comes to paying for fares. That's why the Transportation Department has asked all operators to go high-tech. That means going cashless. Think QR codes and beep cards, not just for trains, but also for buses, jeepneys, and taxis.
Because we know that cash, of course, is a vector for the virus, that people will be very conscious in using cash and will stay away from that.
AF Payment says it is already in talks with various bus operators to incorporate this platform in their operations. Aside from AF Payments, the department is also in talks with other providers of similar technology. But taxi operators say the DOTR should not be hasty in implementing the new scheme as it will take some time before commuters adapt to the system.
Wala naman kaming opposition na mag-introduce ng mga ng new technology, ng mga makabagong mga pamamaraan dito sa ating transport industry. Okay lang rin naman sa amin yung cashless. Pero sana let's i-introduce natin slowly. Ginawa nilang mandatory kaagad eh.
Some commuters are having second thoughts about going digital.
Siguro yung sanay na, walang problema. Pero yung iba na hindi pa masyado kailangan siguro pa ipaintindi muna sa mga tao.
Pagka yung sa mga may pambili, walang problema eh. Paano kami kung walang pambili?
Authorities say the move to go cashless will make the Philippines at par with transport systems in developed countries where commuter safety and convenience are top priorities. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
These are the other big stories today. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque confirms that the president has accepted the resignation of the ICT Under Secretary Eliseo Rio Jr. Rio actually tendered his resignation back in January, citing internal issues regarding the department's confidential intelligence funds. After a woman topped this year's PNP Academy graduates, another female cadet leads her class, this time at the Philippine Military Academy. Isabela-born cadet First Class Gemaline Sugi is number 1 among the 196 graduates of PMA's Masid Lawin class. This year's graduation ceremony was closed to the public because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Earlier tonight, President Duterte read his speech in Malacanang. He announced that both valedictorians of the PMA and the PNPA will receive a house and lot. Duterte also had a reminder to the graduating class.
By your conduct, your alma mater shall be judged. So also shall be your fellow alumni be similarly treated.
The Philippines is looking to gain access to a new contact tracing software jointly developed by Google and Apple. The two tech giants rolled out the exposure notification technology system, which can improve contact tracing apps to make them more accurate, reliable, and effective. Once available in the Philippines, it will be incorporated into the country's own health reporting and contact tracing software, StaySafe.ph. Google and Apple said the software can fix usual problems with contact tracing apps such as interoperability between devices, battery life, and privacy concerns. We'll be back with more big stories after the break. Stay with us here on One News. I'm Jess De Los Santos and you're watching The Big Story. Electricity users are getting a reprieve from paying their bills. The ERC asks power distributors to extend due dates and allow deferred payments. Del De Vera has the rest of the details.
The Energy Regulatory Commission has released a new set of guidelines ordering distribution utilities to allow customers to pay their bills in monthly installments.
The MPC is that we have targeted beneficiaries, those consuming 200 kilowatts monthly, 200 kilowatt hours, because we think these are those who have no aircon and they only have basic electrical equipment. We can call them actually the lifeliners now. We are extending the 12 hours for 6 months. But targeted po ito. Katulad po nung nandito sa bill, residential.
In the recently released advisory from the ERC, distribution utilities are directed to conduct actual meter readings and issue a new billing that will reflect the actual consumption of households not later than June 8th. For households that consume less than 200 kilowatt hours a month, the distribution utilities should give them the option to settle their electricity bill that fall under the enhanced community quarantine with a due date not earlier than June 15th in 4 equal monthly installments, while customers who consume more than 200 kilowatt hours a month should be given the option to pay their bill for up to 6 equal monthly payments, with the first payment not earlier than June 15. ERC also directed all distribution utilities to extend all due dates falling within June 2020 to be payable not earlier than June 30 without any interest and penalty. Meanwhile, Meralco says that it will follow ERC's order and will also release a new billing based on the new guidelines. Meralco explains that the new bill will reflect the actual consumption for March, April, and May 2020.
We will be implementing it based on what is contained in the order. At meron ilalabas siyempre po na mga billings dyan. At yun na lang po siguro antayin natin. Kasi doon ho at least mas malinaw ano ho yung batayan.
For those who were able to pay the bills that were calculated using the previous month's average consumption, this will be credited in the next billing cycles. Adjustments will also be made in the upcoming bill. For News 5, Dale De Vera, we're One News.
2 Chinese nationals were arrested for selling unregistered medicines which they have touted as cure for COVID-19. Pat Mangune with the story.
Police raided this warehouse in Barangay Nyog 2, Bacoor, Cavite on Friday morning. Inside, they found boxes of Chinese herbal medicines. Some of them were even hidden inside a bathroom. The products are not approved for local use by the Food and Drug Administration or FDA. They were allegedly being marketed as a cure for COVID-19.
Kapaloob dito yung violation sa Republic Act 9711. O ito yung mga paggawa, pagbinta, paglipat, pamamahagi, yung promotion o sponsorship ng gamot pangkalusugan na walang kaukulang otorisasyon mula sa FDA ay mahigpit pong ipinagbawal ito.
Authorities seized 2 Chinese nationals identified as Ling Ji Zhao and Zixing Chen, who were allegedly serving as a caretaker and a financer of the warehouse. Police say they've been closely watching the place for 3 weeks.
Karoon kasi tayo ng tipster dito kasi may lumapit po kasi sa atin na isang may kaya sa buhay dito sa Bacoor at ang pagkasabi na may tumawag sa kanya at nag-alok nga ng gamot sa COVID. Kaya nabigla siya dahil alam naman niya talaga, alam naman po natin na wala pa talagang gamot itong kinakaharap nating problema ngayon. Nag-try tayong bumili sana sa kanila, kaya lang ang sabi kung willing talaga kaming bumili ay ilahatan na kasi medyo mainit daw ngayon sa market. So hindi nila mailabas. So ang gusto ng mayari, pag bumili, ilahatan na. Kaya lang nung sinabi yung presyo, medyo nalula tayo kasi kulang-kulang 10 million ang pagkasabi.
The raiding team hauled in 27 boxes that contain around 400 packs of capsules from the site. Authorities say the contraband's packaging is similar to the ones confiscated in Baclaran, Parañaque last April. Officials think it's possible that the illicit items seized in Baclaran may have come from this warehouse. Based on the business permit, the suspects are supposed to be selling dishwashing products. The suspects told officials they weren't selling the contraband items. They were giving them away for free.
Hindi na benta. Bigyan na kaya na yung mga gambitin na yung kinina kambot. Yung sa copyrighting, gambitin.
The suspects will face charges in violation of the Food and Drugs Administration Act. Police will also verify the authenticity of their alien employment IDs. A third suspect who allegedly owns the business remains at large. Authorities warn the public against using unregistered medicine.
Huwag po kayong mag-resort sa ganito kasi una-una baka ito ay makasama pa sa kalusugan natin, mahirap na. Sumunod po tayo sa payo ng ating mga kinaukulan lalo na sa Food and Drug Administration. Hintayin po natin kung may go signal yung FDA sa atin.
To date, there isn't any commercial vaccine or drug developed specifically for COVID-19. For News 5, Patricia Mangune, we are One News.
Not even the pandemic can stop the celebration of the fruit of students' labor as a school in Taguig hosts its first ever cyber graduation. The ceremony featured 4 robots made with recycled materials, all wearing graduation gowns. Once a graduating student is called, his or her face will flash on the robot's head via video call. The robots were operated via remote control to receive the diploma in behalf of the graduate. The graduates and their families watched the ceremony via Facebook Live. And that wraps up today's big story. Catch us again on Monday at 8 p.m. on Signal Channels 8 and 250. Please like our Facebook page, One News. For more in-depth analysis, visit our webpage, onenews.ph. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News. Good evening.